Good morning, students. Our today's topic is transcription unit and the gene. A gene is defined as the functional unit of inheritance. Though there is no confusion that genes are located on DNA, but it is difficult to literally define a gene in terms of DNA sequence. Now, cistron is a segment of DNA codes for a polypeptide. Cistron is a segment of DNA that codes for one polypeptide. The structural gene in a transcription unit could be monocistronic or polycistronic. Monocistronic in case of eukaryotes and polycistronic mostly in case of prokaryotes or bacteria. Monocistronic means it codes for one polypeptide or one protein. Polycistronic means many polypeptides are formed which codes for many proteins. In eukaryotes, the monocistronic structural gene have interrupted coding sequence. The genes in eukaryotes are split. The coding sequences are in the case of eukaryotes, they have split type of arrangement in which exons and introns are present. Exons are said to be the sequences that appear in mature RNA. The exons are interrupted by introns, that is, between the exons, introns are present. Introns do not appear in the mature or processed RNA. So, in this monocistronic, polycistronic, in the eukaryotes, the RNA consists of exon and introns. Exons are expressed in the mature RNA, but introns are not expressed do not appear in the mature RNA. Next is types of RNA and the process of transcription. In bacteria, there are three types of RNAs: mRNA, known as messenger RNA, tRNA, known as transfer RNA, and rRNA, that is ribosomal RNA. All three RNAs are required for the synthesis of protein in a cell. The mRNA, what is the function of mRNA? mRNA provides the template. Function of tRNA, it brings amino acids and read the genetic code which is present on mRNA. And RNA plays structural and catalytic role during translation. There is single DNA dependent RNA polymerase that catalyzes transcription of all the three RNAs in bacteria. In bacteria, only one enzyme, that is RNA polymerase, is present which catalyze all the three mRNA, tRNA and rRNA. First, RNA polymerase binds to the promoter and initiates transcription. So, in the process of transcription in bacteria can be studied under three headings. First is initiation, second is elongation, third is termination. As shown in figure 6.10, during initiation the RNA polymerase attaches to the promoter and then elongation occurs, that is the second process. In the starting, one sigma factor is present which initiates the transcription. Sigma factor initiates the transcription, then elongation occurs, and at the end termination is caused by Rho factor. Another factor is there known as Rho factor which causes the termination of the transcription in bacteria. So we can study transcription in bacteria under three headings: initiation, elongation and termination. It is somehow also facilitates opening of the helix and continues elongation, that is RNA polymerase opens the helix also and continues elongation also. Only a short stretch of RNA remains bound to the enzyme, to the RNA polymerase. Only the polymerase reaches the terminator region the nascent RNA falls off. Once the polymerase reach the terminator end, then the newly formed, nascent means newly formed RNA falls off, and also the RNA polymerase. This results in the termination of transcription. The RNA polymerase is only capable of catalyzing the process of elongation. The main function of RNA polymerase is elongation. For the starting, initiation factor is there, that is sigma factor, and for termination, rho factor is present for the termination of the transcription. In bacteria, since the mRNA does not require any processing to become active, and also since transcription and translation takes place in the same compartment, because in bacteria well defined nucleus is not present, nuclear membrane is not present, so transcription and translation can continue simultaneously. As the mRNA is transcribed, translation also starts. Consequently, the transcription and translation can be coupled in bacteria. That is, both can occur simultaneously in bacteria, because in bacteria nucleus is not covered with the nuclear membrane. As the mRNA is formed, translation directly occurs. Next is in eukaryotes. Process of transcription in eukaryotes. In eukaryotes, there are two additional complexities. First, there are 3 RNA polymerase in the nucleus. In the eukaryotes, 3 different RNA polymerases are there for the formation of different type of RNAs. There is a clear-cut division of labor. The RNA polymerase 1 transcribes rRNAs, in which 20S, 18S and 5.8S. S is Sydberg's constant. Whereas the RNA polymerase 3 is responsible for transcription of tRNA, 5SR RNA. S means small regulatory RNA, and snRNA means small nuclear RNA. The polymerase 2 transcribes the precursor of mRNA, that is the heterogeneous nuclear rRNA, hnRNA. So, RNA polymerase transcribes RNA, RNA polymerase 2 transcribes mRNA, and RNA polymerase 3 transcribes tRNA. So different 3 RNA polymerases are there for different RNAs. Second complexity is that the primary transcripts contain both the exons and introns and are non-functional. The exons and introns both are present. So here splicing occurs. Splicing is a process where the introns are removed and exons are joined in a defined order. Heterogeneous RNA undergoes additional processing called capping and tailing. Now, after the introns are removed, exons join, then again 2 processes, that is capping and tailing occurs in RNA. So, in capping, an unusual nucleotide methyl guanosine triphosphate is added at the 5' end. So, in the heterogeneous RNA at the 5' end, methyl guanosine triphosphate is attached. So, in figure 6.11, at the 5' end, they have shown MgPPP, that is methyl guanosine triphosphate is attached at the 5' end, and at the 3' end, adenylate residue, that poly A shown at the 3' end. So, adenylate residue is added at 3' end of the heterogeneous RNA. Now, it is fully processed heterogeneous RNA and now known as mRNA. This mRNA then comes out from the nucleus into the cytoplasm where translation occurs. Translation means where protein synthesis occurs. The split gene arrangement represents probably an ancient feature of the genome. The presence of introns is reminiscent of antiquity, and the process of splicing represents the dominance of RNA world. This means that introns were previously in past an important piece of information to form mRNA, but now are of no importance. Earlier, introns were also present, but now in RNA, the introns are removed. They have no importance. In recent times, the understanding of RNA and RNA dependent processes in the living system has assumed more importance. I hope this is clear. Thank you.